We'll start with the first point. With Prime Minister Modi becoming India's longest serving elected Prime Minister, we all realize that this is a historical milestone. He has secured three consecutive terms, which is 2014, 2019, and 2024, maintaining a strong political mandate to drive the national agenda. He transitioned in India from a period of coalition instability to a narrative of decisive performance oriented governance. He has done this despite the kind of obstacles he has faced from opposition parties. How has this sense of Vishwas or trust been built? And is it primarily driven by individual persona or by the institutionalization of the delivery mechanism?
Well, Meena, let me say I admire and respect Prime Minister Modi for many things, but most of all for what he has done to the people of this country. The biggest challenge for India since independence has been the poverty and deprivation of the Indian people. We are a poor country. What has he done in the last 12 years? He has made sure almost every Indian has a roof over the head, water in the tap, power in the switch, a toilet in the house, a gas stove, a bank account, money in the bank, food on the table, education for children, a road to the house, and a internet connection, a mobile phone, and health insurance. Once you give almost all people the basic necessities of life, they become very different. This is a rich country with poor people. Nobody should suffer in this country for want of food, for want of medical care, for want of education facilities for children. And he has done that. Now, it is true that all prime ministers in India's history wanted to do that. Everybody wants to do that because they're leaders, they're elected by people, but they're not been successful. He's been able to execute it, bring in the programs, and use technology to do that. And it's had a tremendous impact on people today. People today criticize, after so much of growth, why do you need 80 crore people to get free food? But it is food security. You get free food because it is security, and once you get free food, you don't have to bother about your next meal. You bother about your children, you bother about your family, about work, how to earn money, etc. Very different people. And then two, we got very good economic growth despite the crisis that hit the world, the COVID crisis, once in 100 years. And we doubled our GDP. Per capita income has gone up from 78,000 to 2,25,000 in 10 years. And that is fantastic. We create more than 1.6 crore jobs a year. People must look at data from the EPFO, which gives you jobs data for the last 18 months by age groups, by gender, by state, by industry classification, etc. And most leftists in Delhi don't even look at data, just shoot out the mouth, right? And globally, he has given us respect. Today, you go anywhere, they look up to you with respect. And he has taken an independent position in global affairs, making sure that we are friends with everybody, but India's national interest has always been there. I keep hearing these pitiful statements from people in Delhi and some people who claim to be experts. That India should have stood up to the US, stood up to this. How you stand up to what? To make any point? We should look at our national interest. What is the national interest? Buying oil from Russia is the national interest. Talking to President Trump is a national interest. Talking to Iran is the national interest. Not taking sides in the Israel-Iran war is the national interest. Not taking sides in Russia-Ukraine, national interest. And he has done that. And there's been a very honest government in Delhi. We don't hear of corruption scandal, which we heard with every government. Nobody has put their hand in the till that we know. People make some claim, but there's no proof. He has not put his hand in the till. And he's been a very humble prime minister, and he has focused on India's women. You talk to any woman all across. Women have got courage. Women have got hope. Women say, if anybody does injustice to them, मैं मोदी को बोलूंगी. Now that is tremendous. When the women of this country get full respect, when the women of this country get courage, when the women of this country feel they're respected, then they're very different. And that is the most important thing. Women are 50% of our population, and we must give them their due. It is sad that 8% of India's population, Muslim women, don't have equal rights. So I've been advocating that we need an Indian Women Right to Equality Act, so that all Indian women get the rights guaranteed by the Constitution in 1950. You can't have 8% of India's population not getting equal rights because the religion is unacceptable. It's unacceptable that we discriminate against women and keep quiet. It's not a society that we want to live. That's not a society promised to us by our founding fathers in 1950. So all these things have been done, and he has been very humble, very hardworking. He has is led by example. So I think he's been a boon to this country. And lastly, Meena, we must understand very clearly, for the last 100 years, there have been only two people whom I believe have traveled the nooks and corners of this country. Mahatma Gandhi, after he came back in 1915, I think, and then Narendra Modi. He has traveled all over. He knows a lot of people everywhere. He can recall. His memory is fantastic. Amazing. When he came to power in 2014, I went with him with Ashok Thakur, who was the education secretary, and told him about global education rankings. You know, he saw Ashok Thakur and say, Ashok ji, वो program कर रहे थे ना हिमाचल प्रदेश में 10 साल पहले कैसा हुआ, क्या हुआ? Ashok was shocked. That man remembers even 10, 15, 20 years. His hard disk capacity is unbelievable. His memory is unbelievable. Great listener. He will listen to you patiently and speak back to you. He will assimilate everything. People say he doesn't have a degree, all the stupid thing. This man is brilliant. He's brilliant. His ability to understand facts, understand technology, understand what is happening, assimilate, come to decision, question is unbelievable. I'm told all bureaucrats in Delhi are very scared of presenting to him because he will not tolerate bullshit. He will not tolerate fluff. He wants facts. And he'll point it out very clearly. So they have to work very hard. And you know, I remember my friend who was a C&AG. He told me, Mohan, you know, before Modi came, I used to go to office at 10:30, go to the club at 12 o'clock, have lunch, then play golf and go home. Now I have to come at 9 o'clock. I have to go at 7 o'clock. You know, my life has become miserable.
The working culture has
I think the work culture, see, all these things you must understand. It's not easy to govern this country. It's not easy to fight elections every other day. And it's not easy to travel everywhere. The man has done it. We must respect him. You can criticize him for something, it's fine. But we must respect him for achievement. And I think he is the most successful Prime Minister in India's history. I don't want to say best and all that because it's a matter of opinion. Yeah. But most successful, you can't doubt that. It's based on data.
And not even taking one holiday in his...
He's a workaholic.
Yeah.
See, he's a very different person. He's a nationalist. He loves his country. Now, all of us are patriotic. All of us are nationalists. We love our country. Let's be clear. Okay, we love our country. We'll put our country first. So I think he's like that. He's put his country first. He has no family. He has given up all responsibilities. For him, his passion is India should be Viksit Bharat. And Viksit Bharat for whom? Not for himself. What does he have? I remember when he left Gujarat as the chief minister, whatever bank balance he had, he gave it away. Went to zero. Now, no bank balance. He has no home, nothing. No bank balance. He went there with a bag of clothes and that is it. Where do you get a person like that? We are very lucky to have him as Prime Minister. Look at Pandit Nehru. Good man, brilliant man, very arrogant, very self-serving. He tried to rub, the Chinese nose in the mud and China humiliated India. He degraded our military. We could not defend ourselves. He listened to Mountbatten and stopped the Indian army from vacating Pakistan from Jammu and Kashmir, and we still suffer from that. He put his own daughter, the Congress president. He destroyed all the Congress leadership and brought in family rule. And now we suffer from this family rule for 4 generations, right? He destroyed the Congress party, make it a family rule. And I've got nothing against the family. But you know, political parties should serve the people and not anybody else. And we see all these people doing that, right? And we say he's the greatest. We suffer for all Nehru's ills even today. Modi has not done any of these things wrong that Nehru did. And you know, to go on valorizing Nehru and saying you can't criticize the man. See, Gandhiji is criticized, abused every single day. He becomes greater if you criticize him, abuse him. The same thing should apply to anybody. And Modi is criticized, abused every single day by 450 television channels, 2,000 newspapers, and people say there's no dissent in this country. It's all rubbish.
And they still talk about press freedom.
Yeah, they still talk of press freedom. They keep writing nasty articles. They keep putting fake narratives every single day across. Nothing happens to them. And you know, it's a fight between the leftists globally with George Soros funding all of them and running fake narratives.